Hello FlossTube, welcome back to my channel. It has been 6 weeks since I made the announcement last month that I was going to put a video out on the 4th Saturday of every month instead of the 2nd. I've seen my productivity go up and I don't feel like my month is cut in half anymore. So I hope you enjoy today's FlossTube. So let's get started. Is a semi-temperate January morning outside and there are birds chirping. I haven't seen any robins yet. It's a little early for that, but I'm anticipating January to be over and February to be started. February is my birthday month and there's Valentine's in February. I don't have any roses today, but I do love Shasta daisies, and those are there. Those are real. Those are from the grocery store. They were having I don't know if it was a sale or what, but you could get different varieties of flowers for $5 a bunch. So those are my my daisies. I have lots of daisies in my garden, and I have more blue, I think, in my house than red. I'm not a rose fan. My husband knows not to buy me roses for Valentine's Day because they last a whopping 2 days. These are almost a week old now, and they still look as good as they did when I got them out of the produce section of the grocery store. So quick item of housekeeping. I did read every comment from last month's FlossTube in December, but about 3 days before Christmas, we had a death in the family. It was Christmas. There was a lot going on in our family, and I did not respond to any of them. But I read them. I thank you for them. They came at the right moment. That was very heartfelt and tender for me. Deaths happen, and we just got to take them when they come and remember that individual in our lives and the influence they had. But going forward, I will try diligently to answer all your comments. There are 2 new FlossTubers I want to mention really quick because today I have a whole slew of mess. And as anybody who makes FlossTube videos knows, it can get quite overwhelming. Not necessarily while you're filming, but then afterwards you have to clean up. So I thank all the FlossTubers just for that aspect. They put so much time and effort, not only into filming, but into editing and then the cleanup that goes afterwards. But one of the new FlossTubers I'd like to mention is, I believe she's called the New Hampshire Stitcher. And I will put both of these down in the comment section. But she's very quiet and kind of reserved. But I love her. I love looking out her window. I would love New England. I wish I could live in New England. But she's called the New Hampshire Stitcher. And she made the comment once that, wow, I didn't realize you made quite such a mess when you made these videos. And it's not a mess. It's creativity flowing is what I call it. It's a creative mess, but yet, you know what's in every single one of these piles. So the second new FlossTuber is a pair. I want to say they're called the Antique Stitchers. Daisy K's Primitives turned me on to them, and what a delight. They were a delight. I love you both, and I will be continuing to watch. Okay, let's get started first with some FFOs. I have 4 FFOs. The first one is going to be, I know this chart is going to be reprinted. I got my Birds of a Feather done. This was not on my radar to finish, but it was probably 2/3 of the way done. And I literally just threw it this frame this morning, so I'm not even sure I like this frame. I want to get something different. So I know it's not straight or anything, but here is my, let's see if I can get that, Birds of a Feather by Blackbird Designs. You see, I stitched really close to the corner up here to the edge of the fabric. So I had to put this piece of wide lace down, and I know it's not straight, so I got to get in there. But I wanted to put this in this frame so that you could see it. This was on, I'm going to try and not get my light ring in there. Birds of a Feather by Blackbird Designs, 28 count fabric by, don't know the maker of this, the maker of the fabric, with called for DMC threads, stitched in honor of my maternal grandmother, Neva May Frederick, right here, Neva May Frederick, and she was born in 1923. She actually was born February 10th, so she's about ready to have a birthday. And when I showed this to my family members, Grandma Neva on February 10th of 2023 will be 100 years old. So I stitched this in honor of her. This bowl or vessel down here, to me looks like Pyrex, that old Pyrex, well, probably from the 50s. And that's what I remember Grandma Neva having. All the colors just remind me of Pyrex. So that's why I stitched this one in her honor. This screams Grandma Neva to me. But like I said, I got to get in. I'm not sure I like this frame at all. But I wanted to put it in something so you guys could see it. But it is done. Like I said, I picked this up the end of December. Just thinking, I think I can get this done. And then I couldn't put it down. So this was a mania start for me clear back in 2020, May of 2020. So at first, it was not my very favorite of samplers, but it's kind of grown on me, and I do like it. I did not do the chain stitching on that middle flower up there, but it's done. Nonetheless, it is done. The second FFO I have is also by Blackbird Designs, Where My Heart Blooms. This is my all-time favorite chart of theirs. It's from 2008. And I got it back from the framer. This one I had framed at, I want to say this one's, yeah, Hobby Lobby. This one I just love. I just love, this is my very favorite chart of theirs. This one is stitched on, this was also a mania start from May of 2020, start of the pandemic. I've had this chart since it came out, and I think I was afraid to stitch it because I loved it so much I didn't want to ruin it. And mania happened, or not mania, but Stitch Mania happened at the start of the pandemic. And I said, I'm just going to start it. Started May of 2020, finished 12 of 2022. 36 count weathered shingle by R&R and called for overdyed threads. And then I put on mine, this remains my most favorite chart design from Blackbird Designs. This is going to go up on my sampler wall now, and I have a good start over there next to my stitchy chair. Love this. I love the modeling of the house. They have you use a couple different shades for that house. Just love it. This one I did not put an ancestor's name on. I just wanted it for me. The last two are smaller FFOs, but they are finishes nonetheless. The first one is out of this book from the 2022 Nashville Needlework Market Cookbook. Happiness is Homemade. And it's a Blackbird design, and it didn't have a name. The chart did not have a name, but Alma had put in a recipe, the recipe in for the market cookbook, of some pepperoni dip. So I called this chart, and I'm not going to show you the chart, but I'll try to show you the picture close up. It's on a box. I could probably take this off of there now that that part's done. But I didn't have a name to call this as I was writing it in my stitch book or my calendar of days. So I just called it pepperoni dip. And here's my finish. On the back, I wrote January 2023, Shanda Lindsay, 32 count Abecedarian. This was a leftover piece. Pepperoni Dip. I put that in quotes because it didn't have a name, so I just named it Pepperoni Dip. By Blackbird Designs, out of the 2022 Nashville Needlework Market Cookbook. And then I had this little simple 4.5 by 4.5 inch frame. And I stitched it on that 32 count on purpose, so it would have a bigger border. But I just love this one. Love that strawberry and the border. This was about a 2 or 3 night stitch was all this was. Pepperoni Dip by Blackbird Designs. And then the last one, sorry I'm sounding a little congested. I think I am. I feel fine, but the last one is Stone and Threads Keeper of the Snow. This is from 2007. And this one is really tiny. I stitched this tiny on purpose so it could fit in this little tiny frame. He is on the chart. You'll notice there to his, well, on the right hand side of the chart, there's a little banner with 2020 or 2017 or 2007. I left that off. I didn't. I just wanted the little snowman and the tree. And this one, yes, it is 32. You know what? The call for was 30 count. I think I stitched it on 28. So it would fit in this frame on purpose. Little Mr. Dapper Snowman there. So he is a January. He's been out all January. I want to say I finished him New Year's Eve. Okay, and then I have one FO that didn't get framed, and I'm not sure how I'm going to finish this. Stacy Nash Primitives, Ohio Farmstead Pin Keep, and this was a PDF. And Daisy K's Primitives is also starting this one. Oh, I hear my kitty. But here is my finish. I'll use this for my... This was stitched on 36 count Winter's Brew by R&R. Look at that peacock. This is the one that I had to rechart that house. The windows were off kilter, the door was off center, but I made it all nice and square looking. I almost changed that Ohio to Idaho, but I didn't. I like Ohio too, so I left it. Oh, just love this one. Like I said, I don't know how I'm going to finish this one, but it's done. Another whip out of my basket. It's worth stitching, Christy. Okay, and then on to my current whips. My project roll done. I've got one punch needle. This next one is my homework from, this is going to be homework all year long. It is O Tannenbaum by With Thy Needle and Thread. And if you were with me last month, because there's 5 smalls, I figured we could do one small over 2 months. This one right up here at the top was December and January stitch. And I think we're doing this one next. On the chart, I'm going the way the chart is laid out. So this one will be for February and March. But I have this one done. And then I think all of them will be done by September. So that still gives you time to get the box, paint the box, do the lacing. I already got my colors for the box. I just went to Hobby Lobby sometime this week, and I had that on my to-do list to get the materials, because about the time I want to finish it, they're not going to have what I want. So I just followed the directions in her chart. I got the Minwax. I got everything to finish this. I've got the box. I've got it all ready to go. So, but anyway, here is my, this is stitched on 36 count Mystic, maybe. I know the count is the called for count because you want it to fit the box, the size of the boxes. Yeah, 36 count, everything else by Mystic that I got from Maggie's on Main. And I also dappled with the idea, here's my my finish. I also dabbled with the idea of using this Whisper, one strand of that, I can't remember the name, I finished this a while ago, but I can't remember the name, the color name of that sheep, but I thought about putting some of this Whisper on there, and then in the end I decided not to. So, but there is my finish, and you will notice, and you will notice on the chart itself, Brenda gives very, very clear instructions on how this is to be stitched if you want it all on one piece of the same piece of linen. I did. So this is the layout of the linen. So you stitch it, I mean, I stitched it this way, but when you look at your overall linen, it's, you know, sideways. But now, let me turn it this way. But now I've moved on and I've started my placement of the next small. And this one is right down here. I even stitched the 2 markers. I don't know if you could see those, but she's got markers on her chart as to where the chipboard will go underneath. So they will fit exactly square in the inside of that box. But now I'm on to the next one, which is the tree. But I don't know if you can see, I can kind of see in little marks down in there. But on the charts itself, this swapping color copy, my working copy. Yeah, I really can't show you without showing you the chart. But they're light yellow and they're marks. So I am, let's go like this. I know what I can do. So like down here is a little yellow mark, and it's for the next placement of the next small. So mine will all fit on here. And I hope to have this one done and enjoying this next Christmas. So if you'd like to stitch along, December and January were the sheep pulling the sleigh. February, March will be the little village with the house. It's this one right down here. Because on the chart, the way she has it laid out, I didn't want to put one in the middle and then go all the way down to the end and run the risk of miscounting. So the next one is this one right here. I'm just following Brenda's directions. I think Christy, Daisy Case Primitives, is stitching this with me, and my new friend Marlis from my retreat last September. Hello, girls, and your progresses are looking great. Okay, and then my other current WIP was Paper Snowflakes with Needle and Thread. I've loved this one for a long time. But I'm changing the color of her dress because I did start this one time on a different count of, or a different color of linen. And I didn't like, you can't hardly even see the snowflakes, and her scissors weren't showing up. So I literally got some Abecedarian and started this one again. But here is my progress. And I think I've got some little modeling weird stuff going on here, but this is going to have the girl on it, so right here, so that one won't quite be so. Anyway, I was stitching this with Lisa, my friend Lisa, and we both agreed borders like this are really got lots of little fiddly bits and bobs, and this one I just barely started doing the red. I did all the green first, and then I started doing like the red over there. And so anyway, that's Paper Snowflakes. I'm hoping to get this one done for February. And my last current WIP is part of a 4-part series. I decided this year to pick 4 of my bigger samplers and work on 1 a quarter. And I should be able to get it done. So I will start with the one I'm on for January, February, March, the first quarter of the year. And it is in my, I love this fabric, but I can't ever remember. Maybe it's called Branded. Oh, and now I'm not going to be able to get it open. I want to say it's called Branded by Sweetwater. It has all this ranch insignia on it, barbed wire and red, white, and blue, and different things. And the back is barbed wire. Actually went this way, if you think about it. But there's like newsprint of different ranch names, and down here is there's brands. But in here is my Elizabeth Charlemagne, and she's the one I'm doing first by Lottie Da. And she is being stitched on 36 count linen hog's bristle by Fox and Rabbit from Maggie's on Main. And here is my progress on Elizabeth. Oh, I'm just loving her. Oh, I love the fabric. I love the colors. This one was mostly DMC, I want to say. Yeah, mostly. Not all, but mostly. I've got a fright here of linen colors or floss colors, but there she is. Oh, she is just going to be stunning. I think Nicole from Nicole's Needleworks has recently finished hers. The parrots are going to be just stunning. We all know that you can't get the feel of something until you really see it in person. And I have seen this one stitched in person, and it was phenomenal. My second quarter sampler, so that would be, being the accountant, you'd think I'd remember these things when quarterlies are due, right? April, May, June is Little Birds from Blackbird Designs. I have my border bones all around outside finished, and they matched up. 36 count, I want to say Heartland or maybe Wren, not sure. So I didn't want to start this one again, but this is the bulk of what I have done. And I am absolutely in love with this little triangular inner border. So that'll be my second quarter stitch, and I should be able to get that one done. This one is going to be a wedding anniversary in the chartreuse. I'm going to put mine and my husband's anniversary in that one. The third quarter, this one I haven't stitched a lot on, but the third quarter sampler, I think my Little Birds is the biggest. I can't remember the dimensions of it. But this is the Lucy Max sampler by Lori Rippey. Oh man, this one has been knocked out of the ballpark. Love it, Lori. And I don't remember the dimensions right off the bat. I'm stitching this on 32 count lamb's wool by Welch Imports. Really small. This one was started in 2020 also, but it's a start. It's not a WIP quite yet, but this one is small enough to where I think I can get this one knocked out in a quarter. I'm sure I can. Here's a bigger picture of it so you can see it. Oh, this is the one that has my favorite hymn on it. That prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, oh take and seal it for thy courts above. See that wonder though, that third word, I'm going to change that to wander with an A and not an O. Just love this sampler. And let me get you the dimensions. Yeah, called for is 32 count linen, pretty much all DMC. Stitch count is 233 by 209. Oh, just love it. This one, I think, because it's not over dyed linen and it's DMC threads, I will age it with either tea or coffee or that distress spray by Primitive Gatherings in Wisconsin. Yes, there is my Lucy Mac sampler, and it is in this bag I made a long time ago, probably one of my original first bags. It's all butterflies, and it's got the vinyl front. I make both kinds. I have vinyl bags that I've made. I have the solid fabric bags. You'll see here in a minute my project roll. Anyway, that's my Lucy Mac sampler. Love it. Oh, again, one of my favorites of yours. I guess I should show really quickly. These colors are a lot deeper. I think that's why I love this. I've never seen this one stitched in person, but the colors, the DMC colors, are just a lot deeper, more saturated. Lori, 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 Lori. You do good work. Okay, and the last quarter stitch is in a bag that I just loved from Gamma's. I bought this one off of Etsy. Gamma's Treasure. Her name is Dawn. I'll hold this up on Etsy. And it's it came with a thread bed and all the good stuff. And here it is. I put my own needle bling on it. I just love this bag. It's more winter, not too Christmassy. I just love this. Let's go sledding, follow the trail, enjoy the winter air, sleigh rides. I mean, look at these snowshoes right here. My mom has an antique pair of those. Beautiful, beautiful. This was a kit that I had kind of apprehensions on purchasing without seeing it in person. It's the Noel Sampler from Brenda Gervais, but it was kitted up at Country Sampler in Spring Green, Wisconsin, and I took the bait and I bought it. And I got it and I just kind of freaked out because it's 32 count weeks tin roof. And I went, oh, I don't know if this is going to be what I want. Well, when I was at Spring Green in June, I saw this one on the wall. Confirmation. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this one, stitch it. Mostly all DMCs. Well, all DMCs. So there was no color conversion. It was just the choice of fabric this one was on at Country Sampler. But these are all DMCs with Brenda's. So they're Brenda's called for. Oh man, I cannot wait to get this one done. Noel Sampler by Brenda Gervais. Checks all the boxes, that's for sure. Okay, that's all my cross stitch as far as works in progress, but I wanted to show you my project roll. So many of you left such kind comments on what I could use for this roll part, but I have to tell you a quick funny story. My husband heard me editing my video, and he's an auto shop teacher, and he left the house and was gone for 20 minutes. We don't live too far from where he works. And he came back with a mailing tube that was a little too big, but I still loved him for trying. He gets educational posters. This one happened to have educational posters for his students from Ford Motor Company. And that one would have worked. I probably could have made that work. But then within a day of that posting, my friend Cree, who volunteers at a thrift store that benefits the Humane Society up in the mountain town that I live in, she was walking around the store and she saw a mailing tube in the thrift store for sale, and she bought it for me, and that is what I used. Now, I'm very happy with the way the ends turned out. Vanna gave some amazing tutorial directions. I happen to have a binding. You'll notice I have a binding on this one because I have a long arm. It is not computerized. I drive my long arm. It's all free motion or a pantograph, or it's just, I have to be behind the force that moves it. I quilted this piece and then I put the binding on, brought it back down here after Christmas, and finished the actual project roll down here. And I already have some of my pieces, which will be for another day, in here. But I used Blackbird Design fabric, the blue sampler, and then the stars in the inside. And it just goes really well together. And you roll it up. I put a big button on the front. Tie it. I am so happy with this project roll. I cannot tell you. There it is. Very ecstatic. I think I used the panto on this one, and I think it was called Twisted Tatting, maybe. But because I have my long arm, I wasn't gonna do this on my sewing machine. I just wanted to throw it on my long arm. Then I bound the end of it, and I'm very happy with the way the caps came out. Vonna did a great job, a great tutorial on this one. So beautiful. But then as I was shopping with a gift certificate from an after Christmas thing, I think that I had a gift certificate to Etsy, and I found a matching project bag. So I have both. This project bag is from Mary Rose. I'll hold this up. You can see that there. Mary Rose, Creations by Mary Rose. And it's a vinyl front. Beautiful finishing for the zipper pull. There's a little tag on here that says 2022. Or no, it says handmade with love. Oh, but I'm going to have to find something fun to put in here. It's a vinyl one. But it matches my project roll, so there you go. Very happy. Okay, couple of other things, and then we'll get on to my, it's a small WIP Parade. I only have about 20 down here with me, so, but like I said, this was going to be a long video, so go get a cup, put me on pause, shut me off, do whatever you want. Go get a cup of joe and come back. Christy from Daisy K's Primitives clued me into this wonderful new Stacy Nash, and I just downloaded this PDF. It's called Pretty in Pink Pin Keep, and it looks like Valentine's Day. So I may start this on my birthday. I have a birthday coming up. This might be a birthday start for me. But I just love that thread at the top, that spool of thread, that house. Thing of skein of floss. Loved it. This was only, I think she sold it first on her Etsy page, Stacy Nash Primitives, on her Etsy shop. So go get that one. It's a fun one. Okay, a couple little other odds and ends, and then we'll start the WIP Parade. I mentioned I have a birthday coming up, and my friend Christy sent me this. It was from Under the Woolen Willow. It's this beautiful pin keep with a spoon out of it. And it's pretty big. I mean, the size of my, it's about the length of my hand. Absolutely love it. Look at the top. Oh, thank you, Christy. Just, love it. So primitive, but yet classy, and I love the colors. I love strawberries. I love the silver spoon idea. Love it, love it, love it. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Christy. Punch needle, real quick. I didn't get my punch needle done, but as most of you know, when you punch needle, you punch from the back side, and then what your finished work is the front side. So I'm not going to show you the front side yet, because I will have this done next month. I'm going to put it into a pillow. But here is Fluffy. This is by the Old Tattered Flag. And he is one big sheep. So it's on my frame, my needle punch frame. But he was one big dude. And all I have left to do is the black background for him. And he will be done. I'm going to back him in wool and turn him into a little sofa pillow. But there is Fluffy by the Old Tattered Flag. You can kind of see him in there. Oh, I just love him. I don't know why I don't do more punch needle. Just not enough hours in the day, right? Fluffy, the old tattered flag. Okay, I think that is all. I wish you lots of stitching, especially in the month of February. February around my birthday is actually the longest, or the midpoint of winter. We are still in winter. Here we have no snow, but we get snow days and then it melts. And up in the mountains, it's just all snow. But I, for one, love winter. It's a perfect stitching time. It's a time to reflect. It's a time to turn inward. Spring is coming, and I'm still enjoying the colder days. Although the seed days are coming, I'm wanting to get started on planting my seeds, and through my Master Gardener program, I'm learning a ton about gardening, and we'll talk a little bit about that in the next 1 or 2 videos to come. But quilt, punch needle, knit, cross stitch, paint, scrapbook, practice your calligraphy, read, whatever it is that you enjoy. I think stitching or working with our hands makes us more refined. And right now I need a little more of that in my life. So happy stitching, and I will see you on the 4th Saturday of February.